Hello and welcome to this week's Ken's Tech Lab. This week we're going back to the bench after a little bit of hiatus of me being on vacation. So let's get together, let's go to the bench, and let's start finishing this MK4 PRUSA. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. I wanted to, before we go to the bench, actually let everybody know the vacation. I went on MSC cruises and spent a week going to Bermuda, and then came back to New York and went to Canada to Prince Edward's Island and up that way, Nova Scotia, and then back to New York. So it was about a 3-week vacation. Really needed it, but can't wait to get back to the bench and to all of yous out there. So stay tuned. I'm going to move the camera and we're going to get building on the PRUSA MK4. I'm also going to put up some of the cruise videos that I did, and we'll make another little series on the side about the MSC. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the bench, everybody. This is episode 8 of the PRUSA build. Excuse me. Got a little bit of a cold that's been lingering, and the only thing left is the cough. We're starting off from the last time, and the last time we did build this wonderful, if you remember that we got this all done, the neck extruder was all built. This was a time putting this together. This was in episode 7. And we're not really done with it yet. We still have a little bit of work to do on the neck extruder, they call it. And we're going to take care of that now. So let's get the parts together that we're going to need. This is assembling the idler swivel parts preparation. And we need the idler swivel, say it. It's been so long since I've been on camera. I couldn't talk before, so I really can't talk now. It's probably in the box where the neck extruder, all the stuff was. We have 2 fans that we'll be dealing with on this. Let's see, we have, looks like a switch and the main board, so it's not in this one. What is this? Is this the electronics box? Yes. Okay. This was an extruder box. It is a plastic part, so I pretty well expect it to be in the plastic parts somewhere. Let's see if it's always fun trying to find where they thought LCD, Y carriage, heat bed, what's this, filament guide, heat bed 2, neck extruder 2. Well, let's need that, we know that, right? This is the fan door, fan shroud, love board cover right. Neck extruder 1 of 2. Here we go. Okay. Neck extruder 1 of 2. And that does that bag in. That bag is now done. And that gives us the idler swivel, which is these 2 right here. And this piece, which in red would be the idler nut. I believe, times 1. Alright, let's see how this is put together. Now what else do we need? M3 by 30 screws times 2. M3 by 30. One, two. All right. Now we need M3 by 20 RT. 3 by 20. Or they say nothing's ever easy. 3 by 20. About 18. That's just going to be in this roll of screws. M3 by 20 RT, 3 pieces. And it looks like we need 2 of these. And I believe the RT means this is a Torx. So there's 3 of these in here. One of them is a spare, so it only comes with, this is the only place that we'll be using these in the build. It's been a long time. 3 weeks, you don't think it's that long being away from the bench and all this, but it is. And you start like, where was I? Where did I leave off? Okay, we need 2 M3N nuts. Those are the hex nuts. Let's go right here. That's definitely not them. Alright, M3N. NN. Nutty nuts. NN. We need 2 of these. And there's 2 of those. Now you're probably wondering, and I'm even wondering, why don't I have all this prepped and all this out for the video? Because I want this to be the same feeling that you would have if you were building this, and all these bags of parts that I have, and I have to look for them the same way that you would have to look for them if you did the same build buying the PRUSA MK4. Alright, so we got that. We need 2 15 by 5 springs. I don't know why I keep on putting this box back. Two 15 by 5 springs. Yes. M3 by 4. Oh, wow, okay, those are little screws. I do not see them. I found them. They're in the main extruder bag. So this is the one where those magnets are located. And a bunch of parts for the extruder. Inside this bag, it says extruder springs and magnets. It does not say what kind. or what size, but springs and magnets times 2. So we'll let those kind of maybe come out of the bag. If the bag can open. Or we just rip it. Since there's only 2 pieces in here, and that's the 2 pieces that we need, we don't need the bag anymore. Alright. We need one 6 by 3 by 1 times 8. We need one of those, and they're a spacer. Instructions again. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I didn't read a little bit down, and what it says is in some older packages, and this is something if anybody else is doing the same build, in some older packages this part is called spacer 5.5. Here I was looking for exactly a spacer of the 6 times 3, and they've had an update to the spacer. There's the spacer right there. That was a waste of some time. Alright. Get some of this out of the way. So what it wants us to do is take one of these, the idler swivel, and take the hex, or Torx, I'm sorry, through there from the outside. Take the spacer and put that in there like that. Then take the other side, okay, and put it together like you're putting together a piece, and then we're going to tighten it on there. Slide the spacer into the screws, place the second idler swivel from the opposite end, and screw it from the other side, attach the nut. Hold the nut using the universal wrench. This is the universal wrench, if anybody is... Okay. So we can hold it with the universal wrench. Which, I mean, it might hold it, but I don't think it will. Let's find this. Hexes are these. They're a little bit different color. And what I'm going to use is a pair of pliers, because it looks like the universal wrench doesn't fit. Maybe. Now, it didn't say how tight or loose to make it. but the middle still moves fine. So that is put through with the nut on this side, and this gone through. Okay. On the other end, with it holding like this, it wants us to take the, what is it called, idler nut, which is this little black piece that can get away from you. This little black piece, and there's two holes on the other side of here, and I want you to put that in there just like that and slide it in. Now we're going to take the other screw that we have, the same Torx, and we're going to put it through the same way. So you're going to go through both parts. Once you get them lined up, okay, through one, and they should just push right through like that. Okay. So with it like this, and I'm sure they're going to tell us to put the other nut on. They are. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my hex wrench, hold this down, and I'm sure it's going to say make sure it can still move, because these nuts have the plastic that will bind it where it can't undo itself. Do not over tighten the nut. It must be possible to move with the idler swivel on the idler nut. So, which is still movable. Let's give it one more torque down, because I can still move it, but it doesn't say how much or how tight does that move have to be. Okay, that looks good to me. Again, I think that what I've said a few times is, since we're building the PRUSA MK4 and not ordering it all put together, we can take this back apart if something goes wrong or if something's not put together correctly. Alright, now we're mounting the idler swivel assembly, and that's going to be using the springs. So the idler right here on the top, okay, it's going to stick out. This spring assembly is actually going to come down through here and give it a like a how far to be able to push this out, or how much tension to give it. So let's put that in now. We can lift this up like this in this position. Put the spring through. From this side, we're going to push this through, and we're going to take the other one. Same thing with the spring. Push it through. Okay. Now this is very careful how this goes because the parts are shaped. And I believe it goes through like this. And it does say attach the idler swivel assembly on the screws. See the correct orientation of the idler nut. The side with the 2 dots must be visible. See the picture. You'll see the picture on the bottom of the screen. Okay, it says tighten both screws. Stop tightening as soon as the screw tips reach the front face of the idler nut. Okay? So, which hopefully it's this one right here. So what I did was I held it down with one hand and I screwed it in just so both of them were being held right like this. So the 2 screws with the springs are on this side and the idler nut is right there. So I'm going to push that, make sure that's back down all the way, and it says to keep on tightening until you see the screw end at the very, like, right flush. Oh, a little bit more. There we go, that looks about even. Okay, that looks good, it's flush, and this still moves. So let's see what we do from here. Alright, now it's time to attaching the extruder parts preparation. Well, it looks like this time we're going to be bringing the full unit back into place, which is going to take most of the room up here. On my build bench. So it looks like the extruder is pretty well done. Not with the fans and everything and the shroud, but just to this part. And I need to make room now. If everybody remembers the big part that we put together through episodes 1 through 6 until we started working on the next extruder. We have the love board here where the next extruder and all the fans are going to go. We've already done the cabling down to the buddy board down over here. Power supply is over here. So let's see what they want next. There we go. Parts preparation, 2 thumb screws. So here we go with the camera again. 2 thumb screws. M3x10. We all know that one, don't we? It's the one that we have the most of. But after me just throwing all this stuff around, find them 3x10s again. Alright. 3 of them. You guys can follow along either with the manual if you just download it from PRUSA. You can go the step-by-step just like I'm doing here. Or I'll have the pictures on the bottom of the screen. where we are right now and what I'm doing, just in case you can't see some of the stuff that I'm putting together. Okay, we have three 3x10s and 3x4 T grub screw. Okay, I saw the grub screws already once. They're really small. Remind me of a little set screw. There they are. Probably comes with one and one spare. M3x4T, 2 pieces, 1 spare. Yep, I was right. These, if you can, let's see where I can get them before you can see them. They're right bottom there, little bitty things. At least they give you 2 if you lose one, so don't take them both out of the package or you might lose both of them. Alright, there we go. Also during this I want to let everybody know that the Bamboo Lab A1, I have ordered one of those and I'll be doing an unboxing and setup on the channel. And I think everybody will enjoy that. It's their new printer with the AMS, or AMS Lite I think they're calling it. And I can't wait to show that off. Alright, we got the grub screw. Looks like we need 1 thermistor. We need a thermistor. Alright, we have a thermistor. I'll just do it right through the center. Just a little thermistor. Now I remember on the Mini I put the thermistor in on the Mini, but I did not put it in on the MK3 Plus. I don't remember putting it in. I thought it was already one piece that was all together with a thermistor with the compound already on it. Alright. So since we have all the pieces together, the first thing that they want us to do is on the extruder motor side, well, the motor's on this side. Okay. Okay, so that grub screw is going to actually hold in. Let's see if I can get it in here. Once I put this back on the floor, it's really hard to get some room in here. All right, so it looks like what they did was the grub screw is going to go in here, and the thermistor is going to go in front, and the grub screw is going to hold in the thermistor. So on this side, thermistor goes in. Right there. And the grub screw goes on the top. Thought I lost the grub screw there for a minute because it's so small. I don't know if you can actually see how small that is. Okay, we are going to need one of the small Torx. Scrub is a Torx. And I don't know if I got one or two Torx screwdrivers. I must have two because this one's too big. So it's got to be this one. That's it. Okay. I can barely hold this up and see it at the same time, so I can't really show you guys. Okay, there we go. Alright, the thermistor came out. Alright, so from the motor side, right here on the motor side, and on the fan shroud, or the heatsink, sorry, there are a number of holes. 4 on normally where you would bolt in a heatsink, and then one over a little bit that we put the thermistor in. It slides in the hole right there. And then we take our Torx and screw it down until it makes contact with the thermistor, and it holds it in. Now the thermistor can't come out. Okay, we're just adding more and more wires to this part. Okay, over on the, where it says the original MK4 PRUSA on the front, there we go. They want us to look at the, on this side of it, and there's 2 holes here and here, and they want us to put the thumb screws in there. And they're just little thumb screws. It says secure it with a tightly but firmly. Then screw screw. Insert 2 thumb screws into the heatsink. Do not tighten them completely. 2 turns are enough for now. So I think that will be sliding this over something in the near future, like now. Okay, attaching the extruder. This should be fun. So I need the lub board. Actually, looking at me, that's the lub board. So I'm going to turn this around. Place the extruder into the spacers on the X carriage. There's a cutout in the plastic part guide. The thermistor cable through the cutout. Okay. So if they're showing this going down, oh, I see the cutout. Okay. Do not pinch any of the cables. There is a cutout along the plastic part guide, the thermistor cable, blah, blah, blah. Align the heatsink holes with the spacers on the X carriage and join both parts together with 3 M3x10 screws. Okay? Should be easy enough, right? Of course, they always say that. I think I probably have these in too far. Make sure none of the wires are being pinched. Okay. Now let me look. We have that up, that to the side, that down. And one screw goes right in the center. And then we use a cross. It's got the magnets if we got a lot of other stuff. Okay. All right, so it has places here for the stuff to come out. That's good. Well, I can tell you one thing, the screws fit right exactly where they said they're going to go into, and I didn't have to have much fuss to get them there. Okay, thermistor's hanging straight down. We didn't pinch any wires. Start with the middle screw. Well, they're absolutely correct. All right, we have it on. So let me turn it around so you guys can see it. Okay. There's the extruder, or next extruder, as they want to put it. Wires coming out the top, which will go probably to that right there, out the side, and another one out the side. And then the thermistor wire is hanging down here, which there's a little cutout for it. Okay, connecting the NTC thermistor. So how does this want this to go? It's going to be on this side. And it looks like there's a little channel for it. So it looks like it goes right back behind here into this little channel. I love it. They give you a picture, okay, of that, and then they put a yellow square around, which I'll be giving you guys the pictures of here to make sure that we've actually got this on the right. And I gotta figure out which way it actually goes in. All right, it's in. Thermistor is in. All tucked away somewhat, because the wires don't want to cooperate. Let me get underneath their little holder. There we go. A little persuasion never hurts. All right, thermistor is plugged in. And that's the only thing they want us to plug in right now. It's just the thermistor. Next would be assembling the hot end fan. So we need to get the parts preparation for the hot end fan. and that requires the fan, which is right here. It's a little, I can't even see it hardly. It looks like a 5517. Let's see, what we need also is going to be M3 by 18 screws times 2. They're underneath this. M3 by 18. Okay. Said there's 2 spares, but I only have 1 left, so there must be one laying around the bench somewhere. And that's it. Assembling the hot end fan. Okay, as the the PRUSA MK4 faces you, or faces me, the wiring needs to come out of the bottom left. And we put the screws on the left hand side into the heatsink. Okay. Okay, that's one. That's 2. Okay. Remember, most things are going through plastic, which don't require too much torque on them when you're putting them down, or you might crack the plastic. They're really, on this one right here, they're trying to tell you that there's a sticker on one side of the fan. So when you're putting this together and you have the fan right here, and you don't have a sticker on that side, so you actually are not seeing any sticker on that side of the fan because the sticker is on the side facing in. Make sure you have it oriented that direction. Alright, guide the fan cable between the thumb screws under the cable channel up and connect it to the lower slot in the lug board. So they probably want this to come the same way they want it to go between the thumb screws, and in that same channel that I just put the do they want it through both or just one of them? Well, I guess it depends if we have room or not, right? Okay, best thing to do probably is to plug it in. And that's on the bottom left of the lug board. So let's see what we have. Okay, that clicked in nicely. I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways so I can see the wiring. And the wiring they want, yeah, they do want it to go in there. So, this is 3 wires in here. And I'm going to use the my needle nose, but I'm not using them to actually like rip on the wires. I'm just using them to get the wires into the hole or slit actually. Okay, that worked, I think. Wires have a memory on them and they don't like doing something new. Hold that from sliding over. Alright. It's in there. Right between the thumb screws and all the way down to there. Okay. Alright. Next. This is going to be inserting the hot end assembly. This is PRUSA's new hot end. It looks like the Rev. Let's see if I can get this in here. So they're changeable. Okay, this is the only thing we need is just the hot end. And the 2 thumb screws, I believe, are going to hold this in. So, what they want us to do, so we can see this, is take this whole thing, put it down like this, and going from the bottom, see how they want the wires to go. Okay, so the wires are all on that side. And we take this take the wires underneath. I do believe. Or do they go on top? Okay, let's go a little bit more. Okay, let's pull this out a little bit more. Turn it. Now we'll push it back in. Okay. We should be seeing that, a little bit of that, and then we can tighten the screw down. Okay. So locate the hole in the heatsink from the bottom of the extruder and insert the hot end into the heatsink. Guide the hot end cables freely to the left. Push the hot end assembly all the way into the heatsink. There should be approximately a 2 millimeter gap between the heatsink and the brass part of the nozzle. While pushing the hot end assembly in, firmly tighten both thumb screws. Avoid pinching any cables. Orient the hot end assembly so that the hot end symbol is on the heater block faces forward, which I did. Okay. So now I'm going to pick this back up because we need to route wires into the lug board. Let's see where these things go. Okay, so it's showing two pieces. The black wire and the white wire. So the white wire goes to the top. Okay. And the black wire, which I believe all these wires can also fit into this little wire holder that we have, including you two. And we're just going to take this and pop it in like that. And those wires are now ran like they should be. I really don't think there's any more really much room left. But there might be enough to get this black one into the little crevice right there. There we go. Okay, make sure it's tight, tight, tight. All right. It looks like we almost have a hot end and extruder done. All right, the next part is assembling the fan door. And this is the parts preparation. This is going to be plastic parts. One of them, it looks like the blower, for the cooling, parts cooling fan. The other one just looks like it's there to just hold the fan, hold the parts. Okay. And we need the actual fan motor, which is right here. So we need those parts. And now we need screws and magnets. So we're going to need fan door, fan shroud, fan, M3 by 30 screw times 1. And that's good because this comes with 2 spares and there's only 3 in there, so this equals to the last one we'll be using. Okay. M3x10, 2 of them. This is our favorite ones. M3x6 times 2. Those are really small. M3x6. M3x6. We need 2 of these. We have used these before because the package is open. Alright. And the 2 magnets. Now the 2 magnets were in a little box. There they are. Little magnets come in this little box. They're individually in there. Better here. There you go. Okay. Now, I thought they were going to fall, but they stuck to one of my tools. No wonder they're individually wrapped. If not, you're going to lose them because everything else wants them. Okay. Keep them away. They're dangerous. Alright, we'll put them over here, away from everything else. Alright. Assemble the fan door mounting fan. So they want this piece first. And what they want, insert the magnet into the pocket on the inside of the fan door. Okay. If earth magnets are really strong. Okay. Put this inside. Alright, it's in there. Arrange the fan as shown in the picture. Okay, so they are showing the actual sticker on the outside of this and routing the wire through the channel that's in there. So let's look at this. So I think what they're going to do is let me run the wire through the channel with it sitting like this, and then probably flip over and sit inside of it, and the wires will be inside. Okay. This way, this to this goes in here in this channel. Okay. Goes in and under, and then it comes out in there. Alright. Then it wants it like, yep, it wants it turned over. Probably tighter than this. and put where the screws are supposed to be, which are right there and right there. But I feel like I'm pinching a wire, which I am, because wire management is terrible always. The wires have a different idea. Now, if it gave you maybe a little bit of a piece of tape to hold this while you're pushing it around and getting it on. All right. Now what? Let's see, pull the fan cable very gently to reduce the slack as much as possible, which I did. And then put 2 screws. Which screws are these? The M3x6s. They didn't tell you that the screw really doesn't want to go in there, does it? Look at that, the whole thing came out of its little actually in there. The problem is that the screw doesn't want to go through the plastic. Should have said, you need to force the screw through plastic. Okay, I believe that's in. Cool. So I want to tell you that this part right here is not fun to put together. The channel where the wire goes, it just wants to come right back out again. And the screws do not go into the plastic very well. Alright, now that other piece of plastic needs to be screwed to this So turn this over where the, I'm trying to get through there, where the sticker, you can see the sticker through, and then we have this piece here. Okay. Orient it where the wire, you can see the wire through, and it goes right in. And we're going to put the two M3x10 screws. Okay. One. Some of these pieces that go together, I don't understand why they couldn't print both of them together. Instead of having these screws in here, they could have made this one piece. Alright, now we have the light, that part joined with the two screws that you see right here. So what they want us to do is mark the magnet to make sure that we know what side is the attracting and one is pushing away. So they want us to actually go on this side where the magnet is and mark the magnet. Okay, what they want us to do is take a magic marker and mark the side of the magnet that will attract to the other side that's already in here. So we're going to do that right now. And when you're done with that, just recheck it. Make sure that you, yep, are right. Now it says attach the fan door inserting magnet. So what they want to do is there's a little left hand side here, there's a little groove, and they want us to put the magnet through that groove with the part that we marked pointing outwards. So we can do that. And let's see how far down they want it. They want it where you can see it all the way to the bottom. There we go. I think this is as far as I get down. Okay. Attaching the fan door. Okay. Here they want us to attach the fan door now. And what they want us to do is taking this out like this, they want us to, with it down or up, there we go. Okay, want it up. And they want us to put a M3x30 screw in the hinge on the fan door. Fully tighten the screw, then loosen it by a quarter turn. The fan door must move freely. Okay. and 3x30 that we already got out. And we're going to give it a little help by actually there we go. All right. Moves freely. And then it locks right into those thumb screws. Connecting the extruder cables. So the top of the motor comes from here, E for extruder. Goes right in like that. Okay, so this one goes to the bottom. In. And this one goes to the top. Okay. All those are in. And then there's the print fan connector, which goes into the only one left, which is in the middle, which is right there. You know, the love board, having it like this is so much easier than running all these cables back to the buddy board. This makes it so much easier. And it says do the love board wiring check. So the wiring check will be with you guys. Turn this around. So we have the extruder motor right there. We have the fan side. I don't know if you can see that. Right here. And we have the thermistor, the hot end, and the fan right here. All right. Close the idler mechanism before covering the electronics. Check the connection of all the cables. Close the idler mechanism before proceeding to the next step. If you haven't already done so, use the following sequence. Alright, so the extruder idler is this top piece right here that wants it closed before we go to the next step. And what it looks like is this goes down. Oh, it goes over it like that. Yep. So this popped right in over the idler, and I bet you the springs are going to push out away from and how much tension it's going to have on the filament. Alright, covering the love board part preparation. I believe this is the last parts we have for the extruder. And that's another bag down. And top's better. We have a cover and a cover. And these are called love board cover 1 and love board cover right. And we need one M3x10 screw. You would think I can just reach over and grab an M3x10. There we go. There's a lot of these left. And I don't think we have that much to do except for the... No, we don't have much left. All right. So you curve and arrange the cables on the right side of the extruder as you can see in the picture. Cover the cables with the love board cover right. Do not pinch the cables. How fancy. Okay, let's see where the screw goes. Cool. We're going to push this all the way over so I can get the screwdriver in there. There we go. Cover, no see any cables. Alright, covering the love board top cover. Well, there's no screws on this. So, from the top, take it like this. I've said this many times, wire has their own agenda. Okay, this is going to be more toward looking at me and going this way with it, because this is going to go in here. There it is. It was a lot easier to go in this way. All right. Ensure the plastic cover fits together perfectly. It does. All right. So we've been doing this for 1 hour 30 minutes, I see on the timer, and I still have to edit this, so I want to get it out to you guys since it's been such a while since we've had a video out from Ken's Tech Lab. I really appreciate everybody joining us here, and I'm glad you're sticking with it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscriptions really help. I think at last I looked about 565 subscriptions. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That would really help the channel. So tell your friends, tell everybody about the channel and what they can look forward to. And we have a lot of good things coming up. We have more printers to unbox. We have more of the PRUSA build to take care of. And in the future, we might do a Voron build. See how that goes. And other electronics. And if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. And I read every comment, and I try to actually, information back to you guys as quickly as I can. Sometimes I'm out of town or I'm working, and but other than that, I'm glad you guys here. And like always, stay awesome.